Getting hired as a manager at the Apple Store is a highly desirable role. And to that end, it is incredibly competitive to land that job. But I'm about to give you the most unfair advantage humanly possible. I'm going to give you actual questions you're going to be asked in that interview, and I, as a recruiter, am going to teach you how to answer them so you can land the job. Let's go. Now, I don't want to waste any more time. This is from a candidate who actually interviewed for the Apple Store manager role, got hired, and then afterwards sent me all the questions that this candidate was asked. I am now going to teach you how to answer 7 of these questions. Let's go. Now, the first question is, why Apple? Or why do you want to work at Apple? If you have been following me for a while, you know I made a whole video that is dedicated to how to answer that question because I think it's the most important question you can answer. I'm going to actually link this at the very end of the video. There'll be a link that pops up the screen you can click to go watch this video. I will also pin it in the first comment below. But basically, at a very high level, to answer this question, you need to use the 50-50 rule. And that rule states the first 50% of your answer needs to be about why the company is appealing to you, and the second 50% needs to be about why you were specifically a good fit for this job. Your previous skills, your abilities, your tendencies, your experience, etc. So pick something compelling about the company and then explain why you're a great fit for the specific role you were interviewing for. If you want several examples on what you can actually say for those things that are compelling about the company, when this video is done, go down to the comments, and that first comment I will pin the video so you can go watch how to answer why Apple. Now, the next question they're going to ask you in your Apple Store Manager video is, give me an example of a time you were proud of yourself and what did you do? Now, this is a behavioral interview question. How do you know that? Anytime they say, tell me about a time when, or give me an example of a time when, bells should be ringing in your head and you go, that's a behavioral interview question. They're asking me to recall a previous time and explain what I did because that is a great predictor of what I would do in another scenario like this. So whenever it's a behavioral interview question, you want to use the STAR technique: situation, task, action, result. What was the situation you were in? Like, where were you working? Task, what did you need to do? So what was it that you had to go and do and accomplish? Action, what were the specific actions you took to accomplish this goal or the end result? And then our result, what was the outcome of everything you did? Now, a key here is because you were applying for a leadership role and you were interviewing for a leadership role, if you could make your example of a time you were proud of yourself related to your leadership skills and abilities, that would be key. This is an opportunity, if you leverage it properly, to talk about something you did as a manager that you're really proud of. It could be the way you were proud of developing your people or leading your people or turning around a store at a prior employer. These are great examples to showcase why you would be a great leader for Apple. The last thing I want to say here is don't skimp on the positive outcome. This is an amazing opportunity to talk about just how impactful the thing you did was. Do not end up going light there. When you get the result, talk about the result, the impact, what it meant for the team, if you have any measurables. Again, great opportunity. Don't just go easy here. Explain how big and impactful your action was. The next question is kind of similar. It's, tell me about a time you experienced something hard and what did you get out of it? Again, behavioral interview techniques, so situation, task, action, result. Start there. Now, one of the things that's really important when you get one of these, like tell me about a time you went above and beyond, or tell me about a time there was something hard you experienced, is you actually have to answer the question, right? So it has to be something really challenging. It just can't be something you would encounter in a normal day of work. Make it a circumstance that is above and beyond or extra difficult, and talk about how you experienced something that, again, wasn't a run-of-the-mill difficulty, but rather was something that was more challenging than typical, and then address how you dealt with it, what you did to overcome it, and what you did to make sure that the situation was resolved. A really important key here is talk about your mindset. The way you react to negative things is just as important as the outcome here. So when you're telling your story, something bad happened, but you as a leader understood that you need to be positive and you need to act swiftly to enact change, and you need to explain your why to your people so that you can modify their behaviors in a way that is long lasting, etc. Make sure you talk about the way you viewed the challenge, your mindset, and how you didn't let it get you down, but how you reacted in a positive way, the way a leader would. That's another important key to answering this question. The next question that was asked are, what are Apple's values? This is one of those ones that's kind of weird. You don't get this in every interview where they're basically asking you to memorize things. But it's one of those things where if you know them, this is a slam dunk easy question. And if you don't, it's an immediate disqualifier. So what are Apple's values? Apple's values are accessibility, education, environment, inclusion and diversity, privacy, racial equity and justice, and supplier responsibility. You can go to their website and find these. I gave you those examples. You might want to take some time just to memorize them and think about what they mean to you in case they ask you that in the interview. But if you know these, easy question. If you don't, you're going to get stumped and it's going to throw you off your game. By the way, if you're getting anything out of this video, do me a favor, hit that like button to let YouTube know I don't suck. Hit that subscribe button so you get more videos from me teaching you how to land your dream job, and hit that notification bell. That way you never miss one of my 2 to 3 weekly videos that are all designed to help you for free. The next question is, what is a person you admire, or who is a person you admire? This is a really easy question unless you're not prepared. If you're not prepared, you might be like, oh no, who do I bring up? But if you think about it ahead of time, it's a pretty easy answer for you to give. Now, some good answers here are a boss, a friend, or a family member who's inspired you. Those are easy ones to kind of point to and talk about why they are inspiring to you. The key here, in addition to being prepared though, is to have a really strong why. If they ask you, okay, Ben, who inspires you? And I go, my grandma. And they go, why? And I go, oh, I don't know. That's uninspiring in of itself. So make sure you have a strong why. How do they motivate you? How do they drive you? How do they elevate who you are? If you have a good example there and a person already thought of, you'll crush this question. The next question is like a two-parter, and it's what are your passions and what are they bringing to you? What a cool question. It's a question. It's an opportunity for you to share a little bit about yourself, what drives you and what motivates you. Now, you have to remember here that people buy passion. People want to work with people who care about what they do and are highly motivated and have a good attitude. So make sure you have something here that is believable and they can feel the passion as you're answering this question. If that's not there, it's going to be really easy to tell. Bonus points here if it is leadership related, like growing people, helping people succeed, or something that's related to one of Apple's values, of which you have many to choose from. The next one is an interesting one because it's one of those things that maybe you wouldn't encounter as much as a leader, but it is something that is actually possible in the store and they want to get your response to it. And it's, if you noticed a customer lurking around in the MacBook area, how would you handle the situation? How would you approach that? Now, the big key here to align with the way Apple feels and the way Apple treats its customers is approachability is absolutely key for them. So you want to approach them, you want to be friendly, and you want to ask questions, be inquisitive. You want them to feel welcome. As long as your answer kind of exemplifies those things, you are going to do a great job and you are going to nail it. Now, this video is done, but I want you to watch this video. This is the video that explains in depth several different powerful ways to answer the question, why do you want to work at Apple? If you do not answer this question well, you will not get the job. The role is too competitive. So watch this video now to complete your preparation on how to get a job at the Apple Store as a store manager.